Hey folks, I'm here in Long Island Sound. Today I'm doing my final testing on the new, exciting Divevolk external shutter for the Seatouch 4 Max series. Gonna be fun. Welcome to another Water Trek 360. Today we're going to be reviewing Divevolk's new external shutter for Seatouch 4 Max housings. If you've seen my channel, you know I am a proponent of Divevolk housings and feel they are simply the best out there for smartphones. Do check out my previous videos on Divevolk equipment and upgrades. I purchased this shutter myself. As always, I do not represent any of the companies I review, nor any other manufacturer I may reference. These opinions are my own. Divevolk had no input into this review. So how does it work? The external shutter is made of a couple components. You have the shutter module, which connects to either a housing bracket or a tray mount bracket. Literature indicates the shutter module has a life of about 100,000 touches and a battery life of 50 hours or so using a standard CR2032 battery and is IPX rated to 200 feet. It also comes with a manual, screwdriver, some spare screws, and a lanyard that I've already lost. To use it on the housings, clip the bracket onto the upper right side and then snap to the lower part. To take it off, you basically do it in reverse, bottom to top. Once on, then take the shutter module, look for the cylinder in the back, the raised cylinder, insert it into the bracket, rotate clockwise until it clicks. To remove, lift the shutter into the module slightly and then turn counterclockwise. If you want to mount this on a dual-handed tray, use the tray clip, put it to the right side of the front part of the tray's handle. It should snap right in. As before, insert the back cylinder in, turn clockwise, and align. Now, make sure you slide the housing forward and ensure that it touches the shutter release module, and then tighten any of the housing tray screws underneath. To use, long press the shutter button about 5 seconds for initial pairing. In the phone's Bluetooth settings, locate the device called Divevolk-UWST and pair it. Once in the camera app on the phone, if in photo mode, press the shutter, takes a photo, and in video mode, pressing the shutter starts or stops video recording. This is simply a shutter on-off switch. It does not enable any setting changes nor swipe capabilities. If you do not use it or cancel out of the camera app, pairing will disable after about 10 minutes. Troubleshooting. If it doesn't work underwater, double check to make sure the module is touching the housing. If it is, you may have to go back into settings and check Bluetooth. This can be a pain. I found that by normally simply holding the button again for 5 seconds or so underwater, it will reconnect, but not always on the first attempt. Battery status. If the blue light is flashing rapidly, it looks to pair with a device. If it's flashing slowly, it's paired. If the light is off, you're okay as long as it goes blue when you press the shutter to take a video or photo. If the blue light, either when using or pairing, is very dim, it means battery life is nearing its end. Always make sure you have a couple of spares since this battery is not rechargeable. If the battery dies, find a place that is dry and stable. You don't want to lose any parts, and you don't want water getting into the compartment. Place the case upside down. Use the tools to remove the tiny screws. Insert a new CR2032 battery with the positive side up. Check the shutter first before retightening the screws. If it's okay, tighten. Don't over tighten. Take care not to drop or crush or put heavy objects on it, Divevolk should have provided a small case for it. As with anything used underwater, clean and rinse thoroughly after use. Do not lay the housing down with shutter downward. You could trigger the shutter and take a photo or video. Don't leave it in the sun or use harsh chemicals. Fresh water and soft cloth only to clean. In my control tests, topside I was able to connect as long as I was within 100 feet or so. Underwater, I was usually able to get a Bluetooth connection as long as the module was within 2 inches or so of the housing. This was both in pool and open water testing. In open water, since I don't have 2 iPhones, I recorded my tests with a GoPro. On this day, we had limited visibility with a pretty good current. It was cold. However, the fact I was wearing gloves was a non-issue. I even went so far as to remove the module and the housing clip underwater from my primary housing and put it on my platinum case, just to see how hard it was to do. Not so easy. Obviously, take care not to bump or dislodge the module. The module worked fine. I had no issues with connectivity. However, it is extremely easy to touch or bump. While this is not a real problem with photography, it is with video. I have 2 videos well over 10 minutes each of nothing but the side of my suit and sky and voices on the boat, wasting battery and storage. My advice, unpair it at the beginning and the end of the dive and until you need it, since it pairs so easily. The following lists are things to consider, items to note. They're all pretty minor, but can be a nuisance. First, it needs Bluetooth. Battery life of the phone for me is critical. While this may be negligible, with Divevolk, I have preached putting the phone into airplane mode, shutting off Bluetooth, amongst other settings to conserve battery life. For me, this is a consideration when on long boat trips. Time will tell whether this is a nit or not. If you are using a wide angle or macro lens with the housing only and you don't need it for a little while, don't slide it to the right. You could knock off the shutter module and it blocks your lenses. You'll have to slide this down in order to get your shots. Also, it's hard to get off since you have to pull up on the shutter side of the module and it is flush with the lens adapter. These aren't an issue with the dual-handed tray. However, if using a dual-handed tray, Divevolk tells you to shorten the handle on the right side, but this is an inconvenience if you prefer a tray with a wider setting. If you are using SL50 lights and leveraging the remote switch, on the right-hand side, I'm right-handed, this side starts to get a little busy based on your configuration. These next couple of items are due to my own modifications. It is difficult to use with my homemade screen protector, since it must be in contact with the housing. Using a lanyard or some other kind of retainer string also requires extra setup for me, but I don't want to lose it. And more importantly, since I want to protect the membrane, I will not stop using my membrane protector. If you are using a non-Divevolk tray, the adapter won't fit. I had to jury rig mine with some zip ties and a string. So what do I like? It is simple and easy to use if you know some of the tricks. It's lightweight. It takes away touch sensitivity issues when using gloves in cold water, as long as the camera is preset. It is great for photographers and videographers. It fits on each of the housings, the original, the plus, and the platinum. It has a battery shut-off feature, reducing the number of battery replacements. Pretty cool. So my overall opinion, it gets a thumbs up. Kudos to Divevolk for continually looking to improve their product suite. This is a great ad. And at only 69 bucks at the moment, I say check it out. Now, if only they could add a shoe mount to the Platinum case. Well, I hope you found this useful. Anyway, my friends, as always, stay safe in your dive adventures, and remember, go explore, get wet,